Miss! 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 Miss!
Well, well, well. Revenant gameplay today. My relics are not anything crazy. Lately, we have been killing many early enemies. Early levels are crucial to avoid getting one-shotted. And being able to use the first weapon you get is also pretty important. It is Deep of Night 2. We are getting closer to reaching Deep of Night 3. But every time we reach it, we get cursed runs and get demoted. We got to see some cool new stuff though, so hopefully I will be able to show you. A red dragon communion seal with Stone of Garank. That is a great way to start a run, even though I am not able to use it yet. Time to explain my character, the Revenant. She has an S scaling in Faith, so she is basically a faith-based character. Her ability summons one of 3 allies to aid you in battle. They are called Helen, Frederick, and Sebastian. But you can call them Slim Boy, Big Boy, and Huge Boy. Her ultimate art makes you and nearby allies unkillable for 15 seconds. It also makes your summons perform a special ability. Helen does quick thrusting attacks in a row. Frederick spins, dealing significant damage around him. Sebastian will beam the heck out of the enemies, unless he decides to beam thin air. The Revenant's passive sometimes revives enemies when killed by her. You usually want to be the one last hitting enemies to have them join you. It is somewhat strong if played around, although it is not game-changing. A strong aspect of your summons is the fact that enemies target them, and thus they can soak up a lot of pressure. Another unique thing about the Revenant is her starting weapon. Technically, it is a claw, but she has a special moveset with it. That, and the fact that some incantations are strong while others are useless, make Revenant a huge mine enjoyer to upgrade either her starting weapon or a seal, or maybe even both if your teammates do not need their smithing stone. And that is why we are here. Juicy smithing stone. One of the weaknesses of the Revenant is the fact that she does not restore FP. So, you have to be mindful of it and try to store some Starlight Shards. Juicy smithing stone number 2. And yeah, in case you did not know, those statues give you a smithing stone when destroyed, and destroying them usually requires using an ultimate art. We are facing Gaping Jaw. These are his stats. Not ideal as the Revenant, since lightning and fire are your most accessible damage types. Guess who already has Stone of Garank? To be fair, we already have our late game weapon. Our focus should be on making sure we make it to the late game. Ideally with level 15, good talismans and good passives, both for offense and defense. Improved incantations is one of them. All Sorcerer's Rise have 2 Starlight Shards, so keep an eye on that. Always look for seals. You never know when you're going to get a really strong incantation, even if you already have one to deal damage. Some seals have really strong utility. All these rewards are strong. I'm going to play it safe and take affinity damage negation. I have been killed by random stuff too many times. A random AoE destroys you while you are casting. A classic. Every character benefits from staying alive. But this one even more so. Your summons can do some work if you give them time. Also, did I mention that your ultimate art revives all allies? Who does not hate dogs in Elden Ring? Bad news. I took an item that makes the rain deal more damage to me. Escaping is not an option. By the time I drink the first flask, the rain has already dealt that damage back. I will make sure to die close to where we are going to face the boss. That way, I will not need to run a lot to get to my runes. Spoiler, my raider died too. Level 7 against the first boss. Not ideal, but not that bad. Upgrading my base weapon would have been a pretty good idea. But it is what it is. This boss is turbo easy anyway. I just need to play it slow. What new character would you like to see in Nightreign? I do not know what else they can add. Although, to be fair, I did not expect the 2 characters we got in the DLC, so there's always room for new ideas. And there are certain weapons that do not seem to fit any Nightfarer. In fact, those are the builds I enjoy the most. And I am considering Wild Earth for builds using weapons other than greatswords, but I do not have the relics yet. We got increased incantation duration. Hopefully we will get a buff seal for me, or my team. No, I did not forget about my runes. Second day, and we are close to the castle. It can only mean one thing. Great time to upgrade the base weapon too. Banished Knights, not the end of the world. These stones are doing some work. They also deal a large amount of stance damage. And we have a Raider and an Undertaker by our side. Max HP to avoid getting one-shotted. Sadly, my summons do not jump over there. Improved incantations, nice. As the Revenant, you sometimes get offered reduced skill cooldown. It does nothing because your ability has no cooldown. And no, it does not make your summons heal more out of combat. Physical attack power is not bad here since the Stone of Grank deals physical damage. I think it works that way, but I'm not sure. Sadly, I have no FP for this fight. Maybe, as the Revenant, you should save the FP for this boss rather than for random packs. Periodical giant glint blades is really good here. As I said, I am trying to avoid tunnel visioning on damage over survivability. Have you ever seen worse talismans? Fire Dog's event is a bit of a bitch. It somewhat forces you to split, which can be risky. However, the reward is really good for melees. The small dogs are the real hazard. My Undertaker has a sleep when damaged relic. So that shit talisman I took is actually decent on her. Perhaps trading while being chased by dogs is not the play. Improved stance breaking means my stones are boulders now. We got Radagon Icon for that nasty sleep resistance talisman. Which stonks. Level 13 already? That is nice. We still have time to kill some bosses. I do not want to start this fight damaged. Team, I am back. Missing every spell on a locked-in stationary target feels great. Time to switch spell, I guess. Wending Grace is great to have as the Revenant. Remember, your ultimate art revives everyone regardless of HP, and your summons allow you to make some time. Wait, this incantation is huge. I have more incantation duration, and the boss deals lightning damage. Buffing me and my teammates with lightning damage negation is super strong. And less FP cost. Great as the Revenant too. Although 6% less HP can be bad for you. I also took some Starlight Shards for this boss and for the final boss. Crucible Nightreign Hippo. Pretty easy boss, to be honest. And he is already getting blasted. Hippo time. Stance damage doing its work. Thank God missing my stones against a hippo is not a thing. Affinity damage negation. I'm not dying today. Quick question. Does this boss also freeze your PC for 1 second or so? Should last until the end. Disgusting. Thanks for watching.